Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Go ahead and start liking the video, sharing the video if you would. And of course, you know the drill. Let me know city, state you are from, or country if you're not from America. Would you do that for me? And as soon as you type that in the comments, grab your journal and hit the share button and hit the like button on whatever network you're on. We're on all 4 networks tonight, so this is going to be a lot of fun. Very tough conversation, but a necessary one. All right. So city, state, country. Let me shout out some people that I can see. Why I cannot say that Texas, daydreaming Dorothy, but thank you. Baltimore, Maryland. Thank you. Flint, Michigan. Birmingham. Hey, Jess. Baltimore. Thank you so much. Baltimore again. Chicago. Hey, Mashawn. San Francisco, Buffalo, LA, Connecticut, Chicago again. Come on, shoot me out. Where y'all from? Charlotte, Brooklyn, Wilmington, Maryland, St. Louis, Houston. Wow. Stafford, Virginia. Okay, that's new. I think Brooklyn, the Bronx again, Philly, Pittsburgh, Boston, Vegas. Thank you so much, Vegas, for tuning in. Atlanta, Glendale, Arizona, Jacksonville, Florida. Absolutely praying for everybody in Florida right now, for sure. Bridgeport, Connecticut, El Paso, Texas, Houston, Austin, Denmark, thank you so much. Atlanta City, Boston, New Jersey, Toronto, Canada, Columbia, South Carolina. Thank you so much. Appreciate all of you. Houston, Atlanta, Amarillo, Texas, Queens, New York, Indianapolis. Yes, my DC friend in the Ethiopian restaurant. I appreciate you. It was nice meeting you. I miss DC. I got to hurry up and get back. Seattle. Mount Holly, North Carolina, Los Angeles, New Orleans. Should be in New Orleans really soon. Holly, North Carolina. Indianapolis. Thank you so very much. Y'all, shout your place, city and state, and then share the video. Odenton, Maryland. Thank you. Bolivia, North Carolina. New Jersey to VA. Thank you, Janelle. DC, of course. Covington, Charlotte, Chicago, Connecticut, LA again. Hey, Khalees. Appreciate your support. Buffalo, Odenton, San Francisco. Dr. Words of Wisdom. Thank you so much, Simone. I appreciate that. It's a pleasure. Maryland, Kentucky, Boise, Idaho, Pensacola, Florida, Cleveland, Ohio, SoCal. Hey, Mari. New Orleans. Not sure where I'll be talking yet, but I'm working on something in New Orleans. I might do a little pop-up in New Orleans, so I should have some information soon. Charleston, Georgia, Cleveland, Pensacola. All right, this is good. Arizona, really good diversity tonight. I need you to like the video and share the video. Charlotte, Dallas, I'm going to warn you now. This talk is going to be hard for a lot of people. It's going to be an incredibly difficult conversation for a lot of people, but certainly a necessary one. Let me just put this mic on because I want my stuff to be clear tonight. And Doc's been working on some stuff. It's going to be an incredibly challenging conversation for some people. But the reality is it's going to be a necessary one. And it's going to be a brutally honest one. So go ahead and get the kids put up. And if you got parents that can tune in, that have the courage to tune in and join with you, send them the link. I think they would benefit from tonight immensely. Virginia, Arizona. Appreciate all of you. Thank you. Yes, I'll definitely update you, Malayla, on NOLA and update everyone. Got to get to LA, got to get to SoCal for sure. You going live late gives me anxiety. Stop it. Memphis, Tennessee. Thank you, Daria. Yeah, it's really for convenience. Y'all, I probably worked, tomorrow's Friday, and I've easily worked, I think, about 105 or 6 hours this week. It's been a drill. If you look closely, I haven't even shaved this week. I've really been getting it in. I've got some deadlines I need to meet, and really it's been a productive week, but it's been a hard one. And so I just appreciate all of you for tuning in tonight, and we're going to get the strength to get through it. All right, let's get into this. I'm excited about tonight and really grateful for your presence. And again, if you have not liked the video or shared the video, I need you to do this ASAP. Because this is going to be an incredible conversation. And yes, it's definitely time for a vacation. And once I finish what I'm working on, My goal is to get away for maybe a weekend and an extended day. And I think that is certainly well deserved. So we'll see. But just honored to be on with you. And I really appreciate all of you for being here. I'm looking for something real quick in the settings. Give me 1 second, y'all. So I can just get this mic going. And doing a lot of talking tonight or this week, in addition to my work. How about now? Can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me now. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Can you hear me? There it is. All right. Thanks, Coach Sean. Shout out to you. Appreciate all of the work. I'm going to talk about that a little bit now. Yes. Okay. So, yeah, I think it's just my microphone. And unless I can figure out a way to do this and multitask while I'm talking, we're not going to worry about it. And we'll just get into what we need to get into. So, I'm excited about tonight. And I think this is going to be an incredible live. And again, just grateful to have all of you tuned in. Let me just say this as well. I want to thank all of my Patreon and IG subscribers. Special shout out to them. I'm so grateful for their support. And we have had some incredible lives on, we've had some incredible lives on Mondays. And I am just so grateful for their support. And to work with my subscribers every single Monday. Y'all, I think y'all should be able to hear me now on the mic. Is that right? I want to just double check again. Y'all bear with me. I should have tested this. I've been running from meeting to meeting. Facebook, YouTube, IG. Can you hear me now on the microphone? I need to. Yes, yes, yes. Good. All right. This is going to salvage me a lot, y'all. That's why I'm pressing it, because I've really been doing a lot of talking this week. And I'm going to just let this thing sit here. And fortunately, my voice can rest some, even though I know I'm going to scream and holler a lot. That's what I do. All right, there we go. So here's the thing. I'm grateful for all of my Patreon and IG subscribers. Let me say this, y'all. The wave of the future for my work is absolutely in community groups. The demand on my work right now is really high. There are so many people that have even wished me happy birthday. My birthday was almost a month ago, and I have not been able to respond to every message. I like to personally respond to my messages, though I've got someone helping me to manage a few of my platforms. I like to personally respond to my messages, and I haven't been able to do that. And so really the wave of the future for my work, if I'm being frank with you, is really in community groups. And so Patreon, IG subscribers, you can expect me to ramp up my work in that space significantly. probably by the month of November, because it's really going to be important. This is going to be the best way for me to reach a mass of people on a regular basis, aside from the lives that we do on Thursdays. To that end, if you have not subscribed to my Facebook community group, please make sure you do that. We've already putting out some content out there. I'm going to take the next couple of days and read through the posts that people have put out there introducing themselves. I'm looking forward to engaging with people. We're going to be putting some interesting prompts out there and questions to challenge people on their healing journey. I'm going to be doing some special videos there, and maybe even seeing if we can work to do some special lives for our community groups as well. So if you have not subscribed to my Facebook community group, I would highly recommend you do that right away, because it's going to be incredibly good. And we're going to talk about some really good topics there, really good writing prompts. And I'm going to be looking for moderators. I need people to help me moderate the channel, to help me moderate the discussion board. I want this discussion board to be used to help to connect people with other light-minded people, L-I-G-H-T. It's not a typo. Light-minded people who are trying to heal and grow on their journey. And so if you have not subscribed to YouTube, do that ASAP. All right. And I'll get to more of the other announcements quickly. Don't forget, grab your journals. If I say something that makes sense tonight, I want you to type church in the comments with as many R's as possible. Also support the show. The ways to support the show are on the screen. This is your free weekly life design session with me. And I'm grateful for those of you that have supported and that support. Many of you support on a weekly basis. And I'm grateful for your support and really appreciate that. And I want to encourage those of you that do not support to start supporting the show. I am now up to 1,011 clients in now 39 countries. And that happened literally over the last week. I've been rolling this week. And met yet another client. It seems like I have the same story every Thursday. Another client that has been waiting to get on my calendar since July, but showed me how she's been following me for the last year and taking notes. And really, we were just able to just get right into the conversation. She understood a lot of the principles that needed to be discussed because she's been following us. And so I want to encourage you to support the show. This is absolutely a big help. Yeah, this is a lot of clients. And fortunately, a lot of my clients have rotated out and are living and having babies and doing all kinds of stuff. And I'm very proud of them. But it would be nearly impossible to see 1,000 active clients at any given time. And so that's why with still having such a big rotation of clients going, it takes some time for me to be able to open up my books. But my goal, y'all, is to be able to hopefully open my books by November. I've got some clients that are doing really well that are rolling off. I have some packages of client packages that should be finishing by that time as well. So my hope is that I'll be able to open my books by November for bookings starting in January. All right. That's the goal. I'll see how things go over the next couple of weeks and we'll kind of play it by ear. Now, of course, Inspire Nation, let me remind you, this is a no bullying zone. I'm zero tolerance policy for people coming on here bullying other people. Our moderators, shout out to them, do an amazing job of making sure the comments are respectful. And so please, ma'am, sir, make sure your comments are not only engaging. We want you to talk in the chat area as you're writing notes in your notebook or journal as well, but also be mindful that everybody's not in the same space as it relates to their healing journey. And so there's no such thing as a dumb question at all. As long as the question isn't ignorant, we will certainly respect it. And our moderators will make sure that the comment section remains professional. All right, let's get into this. Oh, by the way, as you support the show, you may see people drop salads in the chat area. That salad simply means their support is going towards my lunch. I've started a little detox program, and I picked the perfect time to do it with the grueling schedule that I have had this week, but certainly survived it and excited about it. And so if you see some salads in the comments, it is people either supporting the show or saying they want to support the show. And again, the ways you can support the show are on the screen. Topic, I want you to put it in your notebook right now. Parenting your parents and adult dysfunction. All right, parenting your parents and adult dysfunction. Let me also say thank you for the birthday wishes for my daughter. She has a very busy schedule as well. Her volleyball team. She's in 6th grade. She plays on the 8th grade team. She made the 8th grade team, and they played the conference championship tomorrow night. And so I'm very excited for Giselle and very proud of her. It's been a tough season for her. You come in as a 6th grader, you've got to earn your time. And she's been working hard, but it's been a journey. But I'm very proud of her development. And I haven't even had a chance to show her all of the birthday love that has come through on all of the social media networks. And so thank you all so much for the kind words and messages that you sent publicly, those of you that have sent them privately. Again, I haven't even had a chance to respond to my own birthday messages. It's just so much going on, and really overwhelmed, not only with work, but gratitude. So thank y'all for being nice to my kids, because that means a lot to me. And so I really appreciate it. Parenting your parents and adult dysfunction. Yes, my son's birthday is Sunday. So yeah, I got a lot going on. Parenting your parents and adult dysfunction. Let's talk about this tonight. And I want to deal with this because we have been really putting this off for some time now. I've been talking about doing this live for maybe almost a year. And as fate would have it, there have been other things that we've needed to discuss that we've covered on the live. But we're finally at this place, and I think the alignment is good. I want to say this publicly. Many of you don't know this. My clients know this because I've shared this with many of them, that oftentimes when I am getting ready to teach a topic on Thursday, it is confirmed through conversations at least 5 to 10 times earlier that week, through clients, stories that they're dealing with. And that's how I really know that my work is really aligned with a greater purpose and calling. Part of your healing. First timers, write this down in the upper right-hand corner, as well as returning viewers. Mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, financial. Mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, financial. Those are my 5 areas of healing. And I think when we tap into our purpose, we're absolutely tapping into the spiritual foundation that we should want to establish for our lives. And so I'm always pleased when what I'm going to teach is confirmed, because it lets me know that there's some alignment in my life, that what I'm saying, what I'm doing, and what I'm believing are on the same page. And tonight's topic has been confirmed so many times over the last 2 weeks that I know it's time. And so this is going to be good. But I want to talk about parenting your parents and adult dysfunction. And let me start with this. Parenting at its core is supposed to alter your life. When you become a parent, your life is supposed to change. That's your first note. Write it down. You'll be the smartest person at the water cooler all week. Coach Sean, if you're on tonight, I am going to need some clips of this because I got a feeling it's just going to be nasty work. All right. When you become a parent, your life should be altered. Your life should change. Period. Now, this is relevant for parents. This is also relevant for those of you that are not parents, that may become parents one day or desire to become parents. You need to understand that parenting is supposed to alter your life. And I'm going to make this plain. If you are a good parent, you will not be able to live the same life pre-parenting as you lived post-parenting. Some of y'all ain't going to like this. But I don't understand for the life of me how you can become a parent and you live in the same exact life after you became a parent. Doc, don't judge me. I'm going to judge you. If your life does not change and your lifestyle is not altered after you become a parent, I'm telling you automatically from 0 to 90, you're automatically a bad parent. I want to say this slow. If your life has not altered, it's a great chance you're not that solid of a parent at all, and probably at best, you're average. And you know what average means? Bare minimum. I don't care how old you are as a parent. Well, shoot, Doc, mama got to have a life too. Mama can have a life. Daddy can have a life. But your life is second priority. Now, I have a lot of friends who are in education. If you're a teacher, oh, they're going to hate this, Maury. I'm just getting warmed up. I ain't even warmed up yet.
I have a lot of friends that are in education. If you are in education on any level, elementary, K through 12, secondary ed, administration, front office, I don't care if you're a janitor and a staff member. If you're in education, I want you to put up the one finger emoji. If you're in education, that's like raising your hand. Let me see it. If you're in education, because I have a lot of friends who are in education. My father is a school superintendent of schools. He's been in education for 47 years. And I have a lot of friends that are in education that get frustrated with poor parenting, because poor parenting has implications for how children act at school. Now, you can say what you want to say, but I'm telling you now, if your mama and daddy didn't change their lifestyle after you were born, it's a good chance you probably weren't that great of a student either. And if you were, it is by the grace of God or some grandparent or guardian that stepped in to help to give you a foundation. Now, I'm going to talk about grandparents in a second. Because while we are thankful for grandparents having a role in the lives of their children, grandparents will never be what parents are. Y'all not going to like this. Yeah, grandparents have a role. The grandparents' job, whether y'all want to accept this or not, is not to raise your children. Let me just go on and get to it now. It ain't the grandparents' job to raise your children. Well, Doc, there's exceptional circumstance. I had to go back to school, Doc. I had to go back and get my license. We should have thought about that before you were busting it down. Oh, my God. I know y'all don't like this. But before you started busting it down, you should have thought about all the stuff you wanted to accomplish. And I'm not suggesting that your grandparents or your parents or the parents of the other person who's the parent of the child cannot help. But I am saying to you, y'all better stop dropping your kids off on your grandparents so you can accomplish your dreams, and recognize some dreams might not be denied because you're a parent, but you better believe a lot of your dreams going to be delayed. And it's wild to me. And it's incredibly dysfunctional to see parents. And I want to say this loud. I ain't talking about young parents either. Just young parents. I'm talking about all age range. I got parents in their 70s acting like they 20. Trying to relive dreams that they didn't live at 20. Baby, hang it up. You on the backside. Oh, my God. You on the backside of life. And what you have not accomplished by 70, I ain't saying it's impossible. But what I am saying to you is that it makes zero sense for parents to pass off the responsibility of their children so that they can accomplish their dreams. It's not right. Doc, that ain't fair. You ain't had to live through that. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I don't know if my mom and dad are on the live. Hopefully they're not, because I don't want y'all to harass them. But you can ask them. I believe in that. It's rare when I ask my parents, even for assistance with my kids that I keep full time. There's typically only one exception: when Doc goes on vacation. And that's only when their mom is not available to do it. I don't like to inconvenience their mother. She and I work as a great team to manage the lives of our children, though the kids are predominantly with me. But I'm still mindful that she's got a schedule. So my point is, grandparents are the second line of defense. The first line of defense are the two parents that had them. Now I hear some of y'all, because some of y'all mumbling behind your computer screen and saying, well, Doc, their daddy, their mama in jail, what I'm supposed to do? You're supposed to take care of your kid. Doc, the mom and daddy, they run the street. What I'm supposed to do? You're supposed to take care of your kid. That's what you're supposed to do. Well, Doc, they're going to jail. Ain't had nothing to do with me. I know, but you chose them. You chose her. You chose him. And this is why my friends in education love me. Because here's the bottom line. Their job would be a whole lot easier if parents would alter their life after having kids. Oh, I'm going to get to the old parents in a second. I'm talking about everybody right now. Young, old, middle age, I don't care what you are. You be a teenage parent for all I care, especially if you're a teenage parent. I'm going to get to that in a minute. If kids aren't altering your life, you're a bad parent automatically. I don't care who you are. I don't care. Your life should change. The way in which you go about your business should change. The way in which you approach your work, and especially your personal life, should change. I'm going to get to that in a second. I can't wait to get to that. It should change. And what is unfortunate, and I'm discovering in this space, in having to work with so many clients who have parental trauma, i.e. trauma that came from their parents and guardians, is that this trauma was trauma oftentimes that could have been avoided. Let me tell y'all something. I'm not trying to be unsympathetic, but let me help you. Everybody going through something. Everybody going through something. And one of the greatest gifts you can give your child is to show them the ability to go through something and still handle their responsibilities. Y'all saw my story today. A lot of y'all saw my story. It was several thousand. Let me tell y'all something. Working hundreds and some, over 100 hours already, and it ain't even Friday. I've worked over 100 hours this week, and it's not even Friday. Seeing clients, busy and active kids in activities and sports and school. And you know what I did? I found a way. I literally would have 30-minute breaks between client calls where I would hang up a call, get in my car, run to the store, get more elements for the basket, run back to the house, put the basket stuff up, jump right back on a call. Do that call, have another 30-minute break, run out to the store. That's called doing whatever it takes. And here's the gag. I got people I could call right now that would help me. I got people right now I could reach out to right now that would do all of that running for me. But you know what? They didn't lay down and have the baby. And until I get a miss tally, it's my job to do it. Yeah, I got friends. I got people. Heck, I could call many of you. And many of you would probably stop DoorDash stuff. You would do it. Many of you are so kind to me. But none of y'all laid down and had the baby. None of you. It ain't your responsibility. Well, Doc, I'm tired. I worked all day. I'm tired. My feet hurt. My back hurt. It's life. Your back won't hurt when you was busting it down. Oh, my God. No, and if your back was hurting it, you took the pain. In fact, you was taking the pain and you were saying, Daddy, do it, keep going, Daddy. Daddy, don't stop, Daddy. So I don't want to hear about your back, and I don't want to hear about your long hours when it comes to raising your kids. It is Thursday, and I've worked over 100 hours, and I didn't ask nobody, including my well-able, outstanding, in my opinion, perfect parents. Could have called them and said, hey, Mama, I know you've been doing this, but Mama, can you just really just do this and put this together for me? No, it ain't Mama's problem. And she wouldn't have looked at it that way. The point is, when you have babies, they're your responsibility. And if your life ain't changing after you didn't have one, you a bad parent. Immediately. I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't care about none of it. And this is why teachers are having to do your job. This is why teachers are quitting, and people like my dad, who is a school superintendent, are struggling to find good teachers. You know why? Because they don't want to deal with these kids you ain't raising. Oh, my God. They don't want to deal with the kids you ain't raising. And what you do, you keep that raggedy bonnet on your head or them awful sliding slippers, fellas. You drop them kids off, half raised, half mannerable, and expect the school to fix it. Let me say this as a side. If I go to one more beach and see a man on the beach with socks on in the sand, I'm going to literally jump in the ocean and hold my head under the water for as long as I can. Take them raggedy socks and Crocs off your feet. Oh, Doc tired, but I'm tired. I get instant energy when I'm operating in my purpose. I get instant energy. I was in Antigua, and there was a guy on the beach with his woman. Beautiful woman, decent looking guy. Here she is in a two-piece bikini, string bikini, nicely shaped, looked great. Tell both of them were maybe kind of into fitness. And here he was, walking on the sand in Crocs with socks on. He finally takes his Crocs off, takes off his sweatpants. He got on swim trunks. He keeps his t-shirt on. Now he's in shape and got on long white socks, and is walking down the beach towards the water in long white socks in the ocean. Negro, take them socks off. Oh my God. Y'all don't like this. Y'all don't like this. But I have teacher friends, and I'm going to say what my teacher friends say that they're probably afraid to say publicly, because y'all ain't going to respect them. Y'all going to try to drag them, because I'm not going to act like I'm the only one that say this stuff. There's a whole lot of y'all have tried to tell your friends this, and you try to tell your family members this, and it goes in one ear and out of the other. And I know what it's like to be in that position, because see, people weren't listening to me until people started respecting me. And now everybody want to listen. I know what it's like. This is why we even got to be careful of how we drop our kids off. Because it sends a signal, especially to teachers that don't care about your kids anyway. It sends a signal, whether right or wrong, about how you handling them and raising them and showing up for them. We don't like to talk about stuff like this. I'm not making it up about that sock story. I'm serious. Fellas, the best thing you can do if you're uncomfortable with your feet and you got a woman is get her to take you to go get a pedicure, because she loves you. She don't mind looking at your feet. And get her to take you to go get a pedicure so you can get comfortable in that space. And once you go a couple of times and recognize how life-changing it is, you won't want to go with her. You'll go by yourself. I'm a regular client. Miss Susan goes to work on Myra's feet. I'm Myra. So I walked around Antigua, that resort, in my boy short swim trunks, because I'm in shape. No shirt and flip-flops. Why not? Are y'all listening? I'm telling you right now, parenting should change your life. And if it hasn't, you're probably an average parent at best, doing bare minimum, and it's not acceptable. And this is all going to connect to parenting your parents. Y'all hold on. I'm just laying foundation right now. Let me tell you some things that I hate to see parents do. I'm going to give you 4 things that I hate to see parents do. 5 things, sorry, that I hate to see parents do. Are y'all writing this down? Oh, TikTok is acting up already. Oh, it's going to get bad. Let me give you 5 things that parents, I hate to see parents do. I don't care if you're young, you old, in the middle. Y'all like the video, share the video, and support the show. For those of you that are not parents, let this be your parenting 101 class, especially in today's time and culture. Let me give you 5 things I hate to see parents do. Number 1, I absolutely hate seeing parents argue with kids. Oh my God. I hate seeing parents argue with kids. Y'all know how many times I've been at public events, especially like sporting events or somebody's Walmart or something, to see an adult going back and forth with a kid. Do you know how ratchet that is? No. No, some of y'all need to share this with your cousins and y'all scared. Do you know how ratchet it is for an adult to argue with a kid? You know, fortunately, I grew up in a time where if you had a disagreement with somebody's kid, the appropriate thing to do would be to do what? Hey, where's your mama or daddy at? We don't do that. Oh, no. We don't ask where folks' parents are. You sit out there with your bonnet on. Oh, my God. You sit out there in the street with your bonnet on and argue with teenagers. And some of y'all escalated to the point where you fighting teenagers. You know, folk recording, screaming world star, just ratchet. No. Mm-mm. Even if that child has disrespected you, to go back and forth with a child is nasty work. And this is a sign of the times that we are experiencing with today's parents. I never grew up seeing a parent argue with the kid. I've never seen that. I know many of you have. I have never seen that. I have seen kids do something wrong or be disrespectful to a parent, and that parent say, where your daddy at? Where your mom at? And I've seen that parent go right to that kid's parents and tell them, and they handle it. I have seen that. And I actually grew up in a time to where if that occurred and I had to go to little Johnny's house because Johnny disrespected me, so I have to go to Johnny's house and I have to talk to Johnny's dad or mom and say, hey, Johnny just cussed me out. I just asked him to get the ball, move the ball so I can move my car by. He cussed me out. You know what happens in today's time? The parents try to fight me. Oh my God. You ignorant somebodies go as far as to say, don't talk to my kid. Now, when I start making up anything, y'all stop me. I ain't seen but one, thank you, Deborah, one church. Y'all ain't saying church or nothing. Y'all literally be trying to fight the adults who report your kids' disrespect. And you shocked that kids go to school and act a pure fool and can't be controlled. And then you have the audacity, many of you. I have friends that are teachers that have told me stories about parents that have even harassed them and threatened to fight them because they corrected their child. You belong in a zoo. Oh my God. You literally belong in a zoo. don't care who don't like it. I don't care. I don't care. I had a new client couple tell me today, wow, doc, we didn't know you were this honest. Surprise. You got to do is watch these lives. I'm the same way in person. It's worse. And it's crazy. Now, listen, I love my two. Let me tell you one of the benefits of raising your kids. I'm on still point one. I got to give you more things. I got a load of notes I got to get through. I got to do it in an hour. Listen, let me tell you one of the greatest benefits of raising your kids and actually raising your kids. You get to really understand their personalities, their tendencies, and what they're capable of. See, when you raise your kid, and somebody knocks on your door and says, hey, Dr. Talent, I just want to let you know that little Zeb, my son's name is Zeb, we call him Four. Hey, I just want to let you know that Four, I was going down the street and Four cursed me out. My first reaction is going to be, really? Where Four at? Go get him. Let me go get him. Because I'm going to be honest with you, ma'am, that doesn't sound like my son. Now, I know kids are capable of doing things behind my back. See, this is how mature adults talk. Not, that'll never be my son. My son will never. My son. No, I believe that because I raise my kids and have an incredible relationship with them and I actually spend time with them and don't drop them off everywhere. I'm going to get to that in a second. I have a great idea of what they're capable of. However, kids can get around other kids. They can experience peer pressure. They can change. They can decide to go off the script. And we're all possible of that or capable of that because as a kid, I was capable of switching up too. However, I respected and revered my parents. I was not about to backtalk another grown-up. And these are conversations that I've had with my kids. So when a kid or a parent, if a parent were to come to my house and say that, number one, I spend enough time with my kids to know what their capabilities are. So I'm going to say, listen, I'm really shocked this has happened. I apologize if this is, go get my son. Let's get to the bottom of this. Don't you move. Let me go grab him. Because that doesn't sound like him. You know why many of y'all can't say that? Because you don't spend enough time with your kids. Oh my God. Because if you spend enough time with your kids, you would know exactly what they're capable of. Oh my God. That ain't my son. In fact, I had a little incident. I don't want to get too far because I think I have neighbors and stuff that watch my lives. But I had a little incident where some, my kids are outside playing with some other kids in the neighborhood. They're all friends. And one of the kids in the neighborhood, we know which kid it was, was being a little disrespectful when the car was going by and was acting like they didn't want to get out of the road. And so the neighbor next door came by and said, hey, listen, Doc, I just want to let you know, it wasn't your kids, but some of these kids out here being disrespectful, and I'm going to every single parent's house to let them know to be careful of who they're hanging with. I said, ma'am, I appreciate that, but I also appreciate you for letting me know that it won't my kids, because my kids know better. Oh my God. You know why? Because their daddy raised them. See, that's a different conversation. That's a beautiful conversation. Hey, I'm just letting you know that they're around some kids that's being real disrespectful, and I just wanted to bring it to your attention. But she came out and said, I know it wasn't Giselle and Four. I knew it wasn't them. You know what that means? It ain't had nothing to do with them. Had everything to do with me. That's the benefit of raising your doggone kids. But no, you got to live a life. You getting ready for homecoming. You getting ready for all of this other foolishness. Your kid can barely read. They don't get along with none of the teachers at the school, and they always in trouble. And you think going to homecoming or going to somebody's show or sitting on some front row getting some front row seats at some show is the priority. Y'all have lost it, man. This generation of parents have lost it. And I ain't talking about young parents either, just young parents. I'm talking about if you breathe and you're a parent. Many of you have your priorities all over the place. Y'all ain't got to like this. Numbers ain't but 58 on Instagram because a whole lot of them don't want to hear this. I need everybody on Instagram to share this. Whole lot of them don't want to hear this. Of course. You just want to have a hot girl summer and a hot boy summer. Numbers low tonight. Oh my God, low. The numbers are almost in hell. They're so low. I know. Because some of y'all guilty. And I'm just getting started. Let me tell you a second thing that I hate to see. A second thing that I hate to see parents do, pass your kids off on everybody else. Oh my God. I hate to see parents pass their kids on to everybody else. I'm not talking about some every now and then, every blue moon. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about some of you are habitual. All you do is pass your kids on to everybody. And it don't just be their grandparents either. And their aunts and uncles. Y'all be passing them around to the neighborhood babysitter. Hey, I just need you to just keep them for a couple hours. I need to go on this day. I need to go. Y'all crazy. I'm telling you to your face, you crazy. You're a bad parent. And if I knew about it, I'd call social services. Oh my God. Some of y'all, they need to call 1-800-social services. I'm serious. Just ratchet. Y'all pass your kids on everybody. You let your kids stay everywhere. And we wonder, I have so many clients that are full-fledged adults that have childhood trauma from them being passed from house to house, staying with uncles and aunts that didn't have their stuff together. And you know how the rest of the story goes. Some of you have a lot of the trauma you got now because of the houses you ended up having to stay at that you were passed along to because your parents sent you everywhere. And it's ratchet. So let me get this straight. You halfway want to raise your kids. And not only you halfway raising your kids, you passing your kids around like they're an offering plate. And then you get shocked when they get older and you can't get along with them. Y'all thought I was off the topic, didn't you? You get shocked that when they get old, you can't get along with them because you've been passing them like an offering plate around your family and around the neighborhood. Of course, they ain't going to get along with you. You scarred them. How can you expect what you offend to agree? Why are my numbers so low tonight? I'm being so facetious. Why are my numbers so low tonight? I have some theories. A lot of y'all don't want to hear this. A lot of your friends don't want, a lot of your followers don't want to hear this. I don't blame them. But this one live, regardless of how y'all support the show, I'm probably going to leave this one up for show. You need to share this one until you get tired of pressing share. This ain't nothing but the truth. Thank you. Double, triple, quadruple tap. This ain't nothing but the truth. Y'all don't like it, but you're going to get it tonight. I hate when parents pass their kids around. It doesn't make sense. We've traumatized our kids by passing them everywhere. I love my kids. I love my family. But let me tell you something. I'm not passing my kids everywhere. My kids ain't staying everywhere. My kids ain't spending the night everywhere. For all of you that love sleepovers. I know this is old-fashioned stuff. Don't do that. You're playing stuff in there. I'm not playing nothing. Some of us got experience and have experiences. And so you got all kinds of kids in your house. You ain't met their parents. You ain't met the mama, their daddy, or nothing. And you letting them come in. You don't know how they've been raised. And you letting them lay under covers overnight with your kid and other kids. And then be shocked when they grow up and they give stories about stuff like, Oh, I got touched. Oh, I did this. I was promiscuous at 11. You get shocked. No wonder, Sherlock. In 2024, sleepovers, honestly, should be reserved for probably family members and very, 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 very close friends in which you have a very tight relationship with their parents. And I'm being very loose with that. I mean, these friends and your relationship with their parents need to be crystal clear. I know my kids' friends. And the only kids that are allowed to stay in my house that are not my kids, it's less than a handful. And I have great relationships with their parents. I'm talking, we text, we laugh, we hang out. And some of y'all don't even meet the people, the parents of the kids that come in your house, or the parents of the kids where you let your kids go over to their house. Y'all don't even meet their parents. It's wild. I just don't understand this for the life of me. All in the name of letting your kid do what they want to do. Or, hey, I'm going to get some free time. You can go on over there and have a sleepover. You crazy. You going to give up all for 8 hours of pleasure in a sweaty bar. You're going to risk the lifeline of your child over that. So no, 5 things I hate to see parents do. 1, I hate to see parents argue with kids. 2, I hate to see parents passing kids off on everybody else. Let me give you 3. Y'all supporting the show? Let me tell you a 3rd thing that I hate to see parents do. I hate to see parents dressing and living better than their kids. I cannot stand to see parents dressing and living better than their kids. This is why y'all ain't sharing. This is why people ain't tuned in tonight. My Instagram numbers ain't never been at 65. I get it. I get it. Some of y'all scared of this. I can't stand to see parents dress and live better than their kids. If you wanted to wear red bottoms, you should have thought about that before you were busting it down. You might have to wear some flats for a while. You might have to go find you some Toms and put some glitter on it. Because when you have kids, you should not be wearing red bottoms and they walk around with holes in their shoes. Oh my God. I ought to wait and make 20 people support, because I know y'all ain't gonna support this tonight. Oh no. Y'all ain't even tuned in. I get it. That's my kid. Can't nobody tell me how to raise my baby. That's fine. That's why they act the way they act. That's why they little mini Freddy Kruegers right now. That's why they mini Candymans right now. Walking around scraping the wall, talking about some zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom. Little Candymans. They don't even need no Halloween costume. All they gotta do is show up, as bad as they are. Zoom, zoom. Scraping the wall. Zoom, zoom. Bad little rascals. And I want to be clear, it ain't their fault, it's your fault. Y'all ain't gotta like this. I don't care. I really don't. I'm in the business of seeing people get healed. And the truth gonna set you free and make you mad. Choose one. Your kid acting bad, tell them they not getting no Halloween costume this year. Tell them they going as Candyman. Tell them they going as Freddy Krueger. They already act like it. I'm serious. Parents, y'all stop dressing better than your kids and living better than your kids. Fix them up. Get your money up or your resources up And then once you get them together and you're able to do it yourself, then both of y'all, all y'all can dress nice. I'm not talking about something I don't live. I travel with my kids. We don't go to the restaurant and I'm decked down from head to toe and they walk around looking crazy. They already know the drill. Daddy, we going somewhere nice when we go to, yep. How many, my kids, 10 and now 12. My son will be 11 Sunday. Have been trained so well that when we travel, they already know to ask, hey, we're going anywhere nice, Dad? Yep. Does that include dinner? Yep. That means we need a dinner outfit, correct? Yep. No, I walk up in Ruth's Chris. Here you are in red bottoms. Fellas, here you are in a custom suit. And your kid running around the restaurant in a raggedy pamper that's busting out of some sweatpants and a t-shirt that's got milk stains all over them. Oh my God. If y'all know I'm telling the truth, I want you to just type levels in the comments quickly, all caps. Just type levels in the comments. If you like to dress nice and you can't afford to dress nice and dress your kids nice and you don't have kids, shut down the shop. Pull your pants up, fellas. Close your legs, ladies. Because I'm telling you, there's a reason why they call kids crumb snatchers. Kids are expensive. They have needs. They don't care what you need. They don't care what you like. They don't care about none of that. When they got to have something for school or something for themselves or for sport, they don't care. And they ain't supposed to. It ain't their problem. And here's some of y'all are telling kids that they can't pay a sport because you don't want to pay a $150 registration fee, but you paid $300 to go to the club. Man, get out my face. Oh my God. Get out my face. And let me tell you what's even equally as bad. For all of y'all that's out here, well, I'm going to get to that in a second. No, that's a different kind of showboat. For all of y'all that's out here so heavily involved in everything else but your kids' lives, and then wonder why your kids are dealing with the trauma they're dealing with. And there ain't no exceptions to this. So let me tell you something else I can't stand. I can't stand a super active community agent parent that's all for the community, or you all for selling products, or you all for the Lord at these Jesus conferences, and you serving on the door, and meanwhile, you spend no time with your kid. You are out of order. Pack up all the products you selling. Get all that registration fee money back from all these conferences you traveling and leaving your kid at home to fend for themselves and go home and take care of your kids. Oh my God. I'm telling y'all, man, it's a shame out here. It's a shame. When I was in that space, especially that church space, and we would have volunteers to do different events. And one of the things that I had my staff do is I would literally have my staff get to know where people come from, but also get to know, do they have children? Are they married? What are their children involved in, things like this? Because I didn't want you in no church, serving no pastor, on no committee, feeding the poor, doing none of that, and you don't take care of your own kids. Because you are out of order if you in the streets feeding the poor and your kids hungry. You out of order if you in the streets trying to save folk and your kids running the street. Nah, I'm just on 3. I ain't got to 4 yet. I'm about to. So nah, I don't want you helping me. I don't want you carrying my stuff. I don't want you greeting the people. I don't want you out here teaching, training folk. I don't want you doing that. Take care of your kids. Why don't you go do that? Why don't you go take care of your kids? And then after you take care of your kids, then maybe we'll consider listening to you. And you wonder why your work doesn't prosper. You wonder why your relationships don't prosper. You wonder why your business ain't flourishing. You wonder why you are yet to get the promotion. I believe in God. Some of y'all, the universe, other stuff, it's on y'all. I have clients from all around the globe who believe all kinds of things. I've been called to heal the world, not just who people like. I don't care who you serving, but let me tell you something. Your first priority is always going to be your family. I said it before people start doing videos about it. I got the post to prove it. Posted that like almost 3 months ago. That's your first priority. And many of y'all running up behind folks and pastor this, apostle this, executive coach this. Y'all running behind us, and meanwhile, your kids at home struggling. And you wonder why they resent you. You wonder why they resent your work. You wonder why they resent going to church. It ain't got nothing to do with God. That's what I tell people. These narrow-minded knucklehead, some of these narrow-minded knucklehead Christians who say stuff like, the problem ain't the church, the problem is the people. Nobody ever said the problem was the church. People ain't walking away from church because of the church. They walking away from church because you got folk in there not even taking care of their kids, but they're able to serve. You got folks in there that's not even looking after their first responsibility, and they up in there screaming, hooping, and hollering and telling everybody else what to do. We don't want to hear that. Oh, my God. See, here's the thing. I wouldn't even have to teach like this if your pastor taught it. Oh, my God. I wouldn't even have to talk like this if the leader of your mosque taught this. Oh, my God. Yeah, you should send it to your family members. Send it to all of them, Cardale. They don't want to hear this. That's why my number's low tonight. They don't want to hear this, but you're going to get this work tonight. I'm sick of dealing with clients as full-fledged adults. And when I say sick, I don't mean in the sense of tired, I don't want to. I mean it from a sense of it's painful to watch a 30-something, 40-something-year-old talk about all the trauma they're dealing with in their lives as a result of all the things their parents didn't do, but from the time they were little kids, even up until them being adults. It's ridiculous. Y'all ain't doing nothing but growing my clientele by not taking care of your kids. Five things I hate to see parents do. I got more content, y'all. I'm just getting started. 5 things I hate to see parents do. I hate to see them argue with kids. 1, 2, I hate to see them pass kids off on everybody else. 3, I hate to see parents dressing and living better than their kids. That includes all these conferences you go into, but your kid's struggling. Number 4, this is a big one. I can't stand to see parents showboat men and women in front of their kids. Oh, my God. I'm going to say this loud. I don't care who doesn't like it. If you are a parent and you have a child under the age of 18, if you are a single parent, let me quantify. If you are a single parent with a child under the age of 18 that has seen more than 2 men or women in their lives that you dealing with who ain't their mama or daddy, you out of order. And I think 2 is high. Oh, my God. Let me just take it further. Doc, how dare you? I'll tell you how dare me. You know how many women my kids have seen? Y'all take a guess. Besides their mama, do you know how many women my kids have seen me laid up with, kissing, hugging? Take a guess. I'll give you a clue. It starts with the same letter that my name starts with. Oh, my God. And let me tell you what some of y'all do. You not only introduce them to your kids, y'all be moving folks in with you, with your kids. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Some of you have moved multiple men and women in your house with your kids. Multiple. Oh my God. Oh, yes, y'all do. Y'all think I'm making this up? I got client stories for days. Or equally as worse, you get divorced. You feel like now you're in a season where you want to have fun, so you're out here dating. You ain't even took the time to heal and grieve. And you start showboating new people in front of your kids. And you ain't even healed or grieved. And now your kids are all confused because they were like, well, I thought I had a mama. I thought I had a dad. What's this? And then now they going back and telling the other parent, yeah, daddy got a girlfriend. Mama got a boyfriend. They don't. And it's because you sloppy. You all over the place. Let me tell you how this works. Single people, I'm talking to you. Free game. Y'all writing? Who's supporting this shit? Let me see who's supporting, because I might be able to pull up and tell y'all not support me, and I'm going to shut this down. No, I'm not. This one I'm going to leave up regardless. You're going to get a free pass tonight because y'all getting this work. Let me tell you how the order works. Y'all see the ways to support. Thank you, April. You see it on screen. Let me show you how the order works. You meet somebody as a single parent, and you really like them. Oh, my goodness. Doc, this could be the one, Doc. Oh, my gosh. I think this is my soulmate. This is what I've been praying for. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, great. You meet that person and you think you've met your soulmate. Let me show you the order. If you have kids, the first set of people you should introduce them to are your friends. Y'all getting a life design session and you ain't supporting this show because I'm looking. Y'all getting a life design session and no other counselor therapist ain't gonna teach y'all this stuff. They're not. The first people you should introduce your person to that you met that you think is the one is your friends. Okay? Because your friends are gonna be that first line of defense, and it is low risk. Which means if the person pans out, great. Hopefully they pass the friends test. Your friends like them. No harm, no foul. If they don't pan out, then hey, they didn't even get past the friend level. Cool. Friends ain't gonna judge you like that. Hey, girl, well, at least friends can help create some accountability there. You know? Friends can also let you know, yeah, girl, I heard some stuff about him. I don't know if he's the best one, that kind of stuff. Or yeah, dude, sheep on the streets, blah, blah, blah. Your friends can do all of that stuff. Okay? I'm talking about how it should be done. I'm not talking about this stuff that y'all do. I'm talking about a healthy way to do this. So phase one, your friends. Phase two, your siblings. You got brother, sister. If you have what I call next level friends that are really, really tight friends that are more like brothers and sisters, things like that. If you don't have natural siblings, but your siblings are the next tier. Because that is an introduction to your family, but that ain't putting you all the way in the door. We're still getting to know each other. We're engaging, we're evaluating. Hey, let me give you a taste of what family kind of looks like. And hey, fam, y'all look about, and then your brothers and sisters, hey, if it don't work out still, hey, we can chalk it up. Yeah, dude, yeah, girl, didn't work out, no big deal. I like this about them, I didn't like them, or blah, blah, whoop-de-whoop. It's fine. Okay? Y'all not learning this on Sunday, so learn it tonight. Okay? So after they have met your siblings, and that passed that test, and you guys are still dating, and then they get to meet your parents. Yes, your parents are number 3 on the list. Because if they pass the sibling test and the siblings like them, and it ain't always, let me be clear about this, it ain't always about your siblings liking them either. Let me be clear, because some of y'all got dysfunctional siblings, and you gave up good people over dysfunctional siblings. You don't give up good people over dysfunctional siblings. Oh, y'all don't like that. Oh my God. Now, you don't give up good people over dysfunctional siblings. There's a caveat to all of this. And your siblings need to at least be healed. Their siblings either need to be healing, or at least have some sense. Oh my God. Okay, so that's considering one of those three things. Then they go to the parents. And then the parents get a chance to meet and engage them. And that's a critical meeting. That's a critical meeting. Because hopefully they can pass that test, again, with some reasonable, sensible parents. We are talking about parents tonight. And we recognize that a lot of parents are traumatized. So a lot of parents wouldn't know a good mate if it slapped them in the face because they ain't had it. I only had one set of parents that didn't like me. This is somebody I dated a long time. I won't even say a long time ago. It was pre, well, I don't even want to say that because I don't want to give it away. I don't know who's watching. But let's just say a very, 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 very long time ago, I only had one set of parents that didn't like me. And the guy was a nice guy. He was the woman in the marriage, and she was the man. And it was primarily her that didn't like me. She had no reason. She didn't like me. She didn't like my parents. She didn't like none of us. We hadn't bothered nobody. I came from a good family. And by the way, was the stepmama. The actual mama liked me. So there's a lot going on. And this is why we got to evaluate who doesn't like us by who's not liking us. Because not every dislike is created equal. Okay? So you pass the parents test. And then guess what, single parents? If they have survived your friend's examination and engagement, they have survived your siblings' examination and engagement, they have survived your parents' examination and engagement, they are probably prepared to meet your children. And at that phase, you ought to be talking about how serious the relationship is. Y'all should already be discussing stuff like what marriage might look like, especially if you'd have met them parents. I'm not meeting nobody's parents that I'm casually dating. For what? What am I going to meet your daughter for, and I'm just casually just getting to know and having fun with your daughter? What am I going to meet your son for? What you going to meet their son for if you're just casually dating and engaging and traveling and just smashing and hanging out with their son? What you going to meet the parents for? So if you meet parents, it should be serious. So by that phase, kids are next. But before we even get there, you've already probably talked to the parents and the siblings. Listen, this is serious. We really like each other. Well, how is this going to work with the kids? Because it's a good chance, y'all, between the friend level, sibling level, parent level, guess who's probably come up? The kids. Guess what thoughts have probably come up? I wonder how they would do with the kids. You know what y'all do? Y'all meet people and you reverse the order. No, for real. You reverse the order. You put the kids first. Let me switch the order up a little bit. You put the kids first. You let them meet your kids. Then you let them meet your friends. Then they run into your brothers and sisters, and then the parents get the last dibs. It's wild out here in these streets. It's wild in these streets. And I'm telling you right now, if your kids have seen more than two people besides their parents, and you're a single parent, and they have seen more than two people that you've dated, you way out of pocket. And I think two is too high. My babies ain't seen none. And they won't see one. When they see her, oh, we close. We here. She gonna be popping up on the lines. Hey, everybody, meet Miss Tally. I'm serious. Don't nobody meet my kids. That's how it's supposed to be, Lexi. Don't nobody meet my kids. Absolutely no. No. If you meet my kids, it's special. It's ring size special. It's emerald cut, princess cut. special. It's special like that. Some of y'all, your kids have met so many people that they didn't lost track. God bless them. The kids that lost track, they don't know. They don't know who Joe is from Frank. They don't know who Susan is from Tashika. They don't know. Five things I hate to see parents do, and I got to rush through a whole bunch of other notes because it's 10:32, and I got at least another hour's worth of content. I'm not going to keep y'all at 11:30. I got to get up early at 4. I got to do more writing tomorrow. I got to meet this writing goal, and I am 80% there. 5 things I hate to see parents do. Number 1, argue with kids. Y'all supporting the show? Support the show. Let me cut on some music so y'all support the show. Hey, moderators, put it up on the screen. Y'all support this show. My sister's on the line. I don't just talk this stuff, man. I don't talk this stuff. I teach this stuff and I live it. My sister's on. She's watching through Facebook. It's already my real sister. It's already sister, brother, mommy, and daddy approved. That's the way it's supposed to be. Before they get to your kids, they got to go through some other channels, man. Y'all just be tail backwards. And I love it. Lexi, I'm here to tell you, I don't know you from Adam. But man, when you got a kid and you can say you've been out here dating and you're trapped, and this is gonna be mean. What I'm about to say is gonna be mean, but it needs to be said. Some of y'all can say, it's one thing to be able to say ain't nobody met your kids and you're not attractive and you ain't no good parent. Of course they ain't met your kids. They barely get through 2 dates with you. Oh my God. Of course they ain't met your kids. They barely get through 2 dates with you. After seeing what kind of parent you are, what kind of person you are. So I'm not talking about you got that testimony. Ain't nobody met my kids, but you halfway take care of your kids. You barely take care of yourself. You ain't no healed person. You all over the place. And of course, no, they ain't met them kids. They all want a second date with you. I'm talking about when you attractive, you got a lot to offer. You can be somebody's wife right now. Who am I talking to? You can be somebody's wife right now. You got your stuff together. And even if you're not fully healed, you are working on these areas mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially to become the best version of you. You checking boxes. You glowing up. You can be somebody's wife, somebody's husband right now. And so you can date. And if you spending Saturdays lonely, it's by choice and not because you have to. And you got a kid or 2 or 3 and ain't nobody met your kids. That's next level. That's the next level. Some of us got a whole line of people we could introduce our kids to. That's next level. So the 5th thing that I hate that parents do: argue with your kids. 1, 2, passing your kids off to everybody else. 3, parents dressing and living better than your kids. 4, showboating men and women in front of your kids. Oh, let me say this real quick. There's a difference, y'all, between being secret and private. I'm gonna probably have to do a live on this because some of y'all are taking the word discretion too far because you don't know what discretion means. Discretion doesn't mean something is a secret. Discretion means that something is done in private. And some of y'all, men and women, are being hid by the people you like in the name of discretion, when really you just a secret. Oh my God. And when you a secret, we don't want nobody to know about you. Oh my God. And when they don't want nobody to know about you because you a secret, you not the one. Oh my God. I'm going to save that for a live. Yeah, his family, I ain't met his friend. We've been dating 14 years and I ain't met his siblings or his friends yet, but he a private person. And, we just believe in discretion. No, baby, you a secret. It ain't private. You a secret. And last I checked, folk don't like to tell secrets. Oh my God. No, it ain't private. You a secret. And folk don't like to tell secrets. So the 5 things I hate to see parents do. Yeah, my man, my woman, man, man, I talked to her, man. She's just a private girl, man. She don't like for her stuff to be out there like that, So, man, I've had guys say this, yeah, bro, she's a private girl. Like, she don't like for stuff to be out like that. So, we've been seeing each other for about 6 years now and just keeping it low key, man. We're going to pop out when we married. Okay, cool. I don't have no problem with popping out when you married. But if at least your friends, close friends, your siblings and your parents ain't met her, bro, it ain't private. You a secret. I'm serious. Y'all think I be making this stuff up. The stuff that I hear on my calls would make y'all blush. There ain't no privacy. That's secrecy. And they ain't the same. Because some of us are going to pop out when we're married. I've already said my mind. I want my marriage I want to have a destination marriage. I'm telling you now, I want to have a destination marriage. And I want to open it up. Especially in this space that I'm in now. I might even open it up to the public if y'all want to come. But I'm going to have security there. I have a destination marriage. And I'm going to pop out with her. And y'all going to see her. Oh my gosh, Doc, great job. She's awesome. She's beautiful. She's smart. She's da-da-da. Yeah, she mine. And these lives ain't going to be as long because I'm going to have to get off the line to take care of business. Bow chicka wow wow. There's a difference between secrecy and privacy. Are y'all listening to me? So the 5th thing that I hate to see parents do, let me not get off track. Yeah, ain't gonna be, look, I'm gonna do these lives and stuff, but I'm telling y'all, if she come down the steps and be like, baby, you've been on a little bit too long. I know, honey, just give me 10 minutes. If you knew like I knew, you would get off the live. I'm gonna be like, well, y'all, I think I'm gonna have to stop here. We'll have a part 2 next week. And I'll see y'all then. You know why? Because it wouldn't be right for me to prioritize my work even over my wife. That's a different conversation, a different day. I don't want to even just go on. Whatever. Okay. 5 things I hate to see parents do. Lord, I might have a wife that might just kind of come on the screen and just put her hand right here. Y'all see that hand? And then Doc gonna have to hold his composure. Because if she do that and then start playing in this, we got a problem. I got to go. I can't. I know my limits. I'm just, Doc keeping it a buck with you. Don't do that. Don't do that. 5 things I hate to see parents do. Y'all don't like this kind of talk. Look, Doc just keeping it a buck with y'all. 5 things I hate to see parents do. 1, argue with kids. 2, pass your kids off on everybody. 3, parents dressing and living better than kids. 4, showboat men and women in front of your kids. 5, y'all ain't gonna like me for this. I can't stand to see parents clubbing with their kids. Parents have no business going to the club with their kids unless you are on a resort out of a country somewhere where they have a little club on the resort and y'all are hanging out and dancing. That ain't really a club. It's just a social thing. That ain't really a club. I'm talking about those of you in your hometown. Your daughter got on fishnets and you got on fishnets. Oh my God. Your daddy, your son got sagging jeans on and his daddy got sagging jeans on. Y'all think this stuff don't happen, do you? Y'all think this stuff, I just be making this stuff up, don't you? You mean tell me some of y'all don't know some friends that club with their kids? Yeah, you do. Oh, yeah, you do. It's raggedy. It's ratchet. It's ratchet. It's nasty work for you to be in a club with your kids. Again, there are exceptions, y'all. Parties, receptions, you're at a resort, you're dancing. That's different. When I travel and I'm out of the country, these resorts have these little spots. I think it's beautiful to see a daughter and her mom, or a mom with her daughters, and they're in there dancing and enjoying each other. Sometimes they twerking on each other. Y'all be all right. Y'all seen twerk. Y'all done seen worse. They be twerking on each other and playing, and the mama's in the middle. You on vacation. You ain't in no real club. Or the father has his sons in there and they all standing against the wall or whatever. That's different. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. Or you in New Orleans and maybe you're going down Bourbon Street and you're there with your mom and y'all popping in out of the little spots on Bourbon Street. I'm not talking about that. It's vacation life. That's vacation. I'm talking about those of y'all that actually get dressed up, take them little club flyers that you get, and you actually go to an actual club with your kids and y'all standing in line next to each other, smiling. She got all her teeth, you got gold fronts. I'm serious. And what's crazy, y'all, what's even as crazy as that is when they go to the club together, when you can't tell which one the kid and which one the parent. Oh my God. You don't even know which one the kid and which one the parent. Because in many cases, the parent looked worse than the kid. Y'all ain't gotta like this. I don't care, man. Bruh. I like me. How about that? Why is this important? Because when you become older, your priorities should shift. Let me get back to my notes. I got 16 minutes and I got a lot of stuff to get through. Your priorities should shift. You know what that means? When you're older and you become older and you become a parent, your priorities should shift. And then when you become an older parent, you should start to even shift how you treat your kids. You should shift from giving orders to giving instruction and consulting. If you a parent of a child that's over 21 and you still screaming and hollering and fussing and threatening folks, you out of order. Baby, you can't make up for that first 20 years you missed. By that age, you should be consulting, giving instruction. Hey, you need to think about doing this. And you should be giving guidance. Your kid 30 and you hurling threats. For what? For what? I'll tell you why. Because many of you, some parents are so argumentative because they still want to be in charge of grown kids. You know why some of your parents are so argumentative? Because they want to be in charge of grown kids. I mean, they literally in their 70s and you in your 50s, and they still arguing with you every day. They have control issues. Oh my God. Let me tell you how this should work. Parents, when you get to a certain age, you should be enjoying the back end of your life with ease and freedom. The back end of your life with ease and freedom, you should be enjoying that. Parents, this is how it works. When you get older, you should get nicer, not meaner. Oh my God. Parents, when you get older, you should be easier to deal with and not harder to deal with. Oh my God. Parents, when you get older, you should be so sweet that people should want to be around you and not run away from you. Oh my God. And I've never seen a time where parents are getting older and meaner by the day. And a lot of this resistance, if I'm being honest, is connected to people trying to relive their lives. Baby, at 70, you ain't reliving those last 70 years. You're not reliving that. Your job is to make the best of the moment that you're in and moving forward. When you're on that back end, you can't relive that stuff. And because you can't do it, you take it out on your grown kids. So you meaner, you harder to deal with. You don't want to listen. You don't want to bear strength. Let me tell you something. Parents should be mindful of what's called the cycle of life. And I'm telling you, when you do this parenting thing right and you grow old in parenting, let me tell you how it should work. Because I see it work with my parents. I saw it work with my grandmama especially. My father's, I saw it work brilliantly. Because I used to think my grandma was a little rough when I was a kid. Now, granted, you all hear me talk about my grandmother a lot. I used to talk to my grandmother every single Sunday at least. Because I would roll her in, get her food. I would serve my father and then sit over there in that chair and listen to her talk. And one of the things that I noticed about my grandmother, that as she got older, she got sweeter. That's the way it's supposed to be. You know why? Because you get old, you get feeble, you need help, you need your health starts to decline. You can't drive maybe and go as much as you want to and come as much as you want to. So why would you get old and get mean? So nobody can help you. Why you acting mean? Some of y'all need to send this to your old parents. My grandma got nicer. I'm watching my parents age gracefully. They're not getting meaner. My parents are as sweet as they come. That's the way it's supposed to be. And us, their kids, with all this youth and invigoration, we should be helping them. Yes, they give us guidance and consult and advice. I cherish my parents' advice. But their job ain't to solve my problems for me. So when they ain't got no babysitter, I'm not throwing that on them. They're on the back end of their life. It's got to be an extreme emergency. And it's got to be something necessary. Work. I bring my kids with me to work. And I get it. Everybody ain't in that position. But if you're in a position where you can even bring your kids to work, that's better off than dropping them off on your grandparents who are on the back end of their grandparents who are on the back end of their life and should be enjoying their life. I get a kick when my parents send in the group chat. We on the plane. We on the way to such and such. My mom and daddy traveling like it ain't nobody's business. And I love it. How I look to myself, y'all need to stop doing all that traveling so you can watch your grandkids. What? You get to your grandkids when y'all get to it. Get on the plane, go to Vegas. Bye. Love y'all. Have fun. You need some recommendations, hotel recommendations? That's the way it ought to be. It's called the cycle of life. And parents should be mindful of what's called the cycle of life. What does that look like? When we're born, we can't see, we can't move, we have a tender spine, we can't sit up straight. We come into this world and we don't even know where we are, and we end up in the hands of people called our mom and daddy, who take care of us until we start to gain our eyesight, our strength, we grow, and then we begin to build independence over the years. We become children, and then teens, and then teenagers, and then young adults, and we continue to grow in strength. And what happens to our parents? They reach a peak in strength, and they start to decline in strength. And when parents begin to decline in strength, guess what? It goes from the child depending on the parent to the parent needing to depend on the child. And I hate to say this so rudely, but some of you parents ain't gonna get it unless I do. Some of y'all gonna be old, lonely, and by yourself, either at your house or in the nursing home, because you're getting old and mean, and don't nobody want to deal with no old, mean person. Oh my God. You're on the back end of life. And on the cycle of life, you ought to be enjoying life. You ought to be enjoying your kids, bringing you lunch. You ought to be enjoying kids, showing up for you at special events. You ought to be enjoying kids, sending you photos and FaceTiming the grandkids. And you sitting there knitting caps and eating peanuts and Werther's candy. No, you sitting there being mean because you want to relive your life and relive the parts of your life that you miss, or relive the parts of your life that you don't like. It's too late for that. Eating peanuts and Werther's candy. That's what you ought to be doing. It's wild to me. But parents get older and get meaner. If we understood the cycle of life, y'all, getting old and growing old as a parent is designed for you to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor, literally. You are in labor for those children. You ought to be able to enjoy the fruit. There's nothing that gives me a kick more than for my parents to need something and I know it and I can just send it to them. Not, oh man, money tight right now. I don't know. I worked hard for this. To not only be a blessing to my kids, but to be a blessing to my family and to my parents. I got nieces and nephews. I think it's cool when they look at me as rich uncle. I like that. You got a little farmer, call uncle. I love it. That's the way it ought to be. Because guess what? Uncle gonna get old one day. Meanwhile, you sit up here mad with the world because you don't like the way your life went, and you mad at your kids, mad at your grandkids, mad at your nieces and nephews. It's crazy out. Y'all, man, I'm telling you, get that together. I love it. Go on family trips, and if I'm driving and all the kids want to hop in there with, I want to ride with uncle. I love it. They love me. They love their uncle, my brother. I love it. That's what it's supposed to be. Not getting old and mean. Don't nobody want to be around you because you so doggone mean. And life got a way of humbling you. Y'all not going to like what I'm going to say, but I'm serious. Life has a way of humbling you. And when you get old and you get to a place where you can't take care of yourself and your health is declining and you walk around in diapers and you got the audacity to be mean, them diapers ought to remind you ought to be nice. I know y'all don't like this. This is the way my grandma used to talk. Doc, where you get this wisdom from? As a young man, where you get this stuff from? This is the way old folks used to teach. You walk around in a diaper and you mean, stop. Get your act together. It's nasty work to be wearing a diaper and be mean at the same time. That's nasty work. Let me say this. I got a few more bullet points. Y'all, it's 10:54. Can I have 11:15? Is that okay? Will y'all stick around? The numbers are low anyway. I'm going to do it anyway because the numbers are low. Folk didn't want this work tonight. But if y'all support this show, I'm going to leave it up so they can get this work. 11:15. Give me, it's 11. I got 10:54 now on the East Coast. Chanel is a nurse. I know what you're going through. If you're a nurse, Lord knows I got friends that are nurses that have horror stories. I don't see how y'all do it. I don't see how y'all do it. Because some of these folks get old and mean. And that's because a lot of their kids haven't even checked them. They living with the trauma that these same parents have put on them. And it's wild out here. I'm going to hurry up. You got to go, I understand. Put me on the clock. 10:55. I got 20 minutes. Listen, let me say this while I'm on it. I want to make this loud and clear. When there is strife or a disagreement or an argument or a problem between a parent and a child, it is the parent's responsibility to initiate reconciliation. I want to say this slow. When a child and a parent falls out, it is the parent's job to initiate reconciliation. I don't care if your kid is 50 and they cussed you out. It is the parent's job to be a lifetime parent, which means if you 70 and your kid's 50, you're going to always be 20 years older, which means you're going to always be the parent. Now, let me be clear. It doesn't mean your kids have a right to disrespect you. But if they disrespect you and y'all have a falling out, as the parent, you're supposed to be adulting at all times. You know what parents do today? Parents will literally stop talking to their own kids because they fell out with them. But Doc, I had to stop. They disrespected me, Doc. They cussed me out. Okay, I'm not saying that's right, but that's your child and you're the adult. And your job is to first try to reconcile. If they still cussing and carrying on, then you've done your part. Find peace, turn them over to God and move on. You know what some of these parents do? Sit in the corner, all swole mouth, stubborn, don't do none of that, and say, forget them. They grown. I ain't got to have no relationship with them. I did my part. You out of order. I know y'all don't like this because many of your parents ain't doing it. Some of you ain't doing it. As long as you have children, you will forever be the parent. Now, if your parent, again, I want to make this clear. Your kid ain't listening to you. They don't want to hear what you got to say. You trying to talk to them. You trying to reconcile. They still cussing you out, disrespecting you. That's a different conversation. Hey, listen, sweetheart, son, whatever. We're not going to do that. You're not going to be respectful and us be able to talk about this as adults. Then I'm going to let you just live with how you feel. And I'm just going to move on. And I wish you the best. And I want you to know that the door is open if you ever want to have a reasonable conversation. And then the figurative blood is off your hands. You can have a conscious life. You can live a life in clear consciousness. You can sleep well at night because you know you have done your part. This is what healed, mature people do. It don't matter. If I'm 90 years old, I will always be my kid's daddy. And if things happen to go left over the years, which I pray they absolutely will not, my job is to seek after them and say, listen, I don't know, son, daughter, where we went wrong, or additional kids, I don't know where we went wrong, but let's figure this out. And if they're not open and they still disrespectful, I said this and I'm going to repeat it again. They're not open, and especially if they're still being disrespectful, you have the right to move on. Yes, I work with parents and adult children all the time. I have clients in their 70s. I have clients in their 50s. I've done calls with them and their parents that are in their 70s and 80s. Absolutely. I love it. The truth is for everybody. I don't care how old you are. Now, I want to say this because I see a really good question. I want to answer it really quickly and get back to this content because I got to be done in 16 minutes. Do you believe in completely disconnecting from your parents? I don't think it's a wise thing. And I know a lot of people like to brag on that. Oh, my parents ain't crap. They want this, they want that. And they ain't showing up for me and they not being the bigger person. Forget them. I'm fine. They ain't have to do this. They don't have to come to this. Y'all can live and bask in that low energy if you want to. Go bask in that. Go bask in that low level energy if you want to. But the reason why this is called parenting your parents is because sometimes there comes a day where the child outgrows the parent, unfortunately. Sometimes, not in all cases, but when you're dealing with dysfunctional parents, there will come a day where you're going to probably outgrow them mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially. And guess what? When you become the parent and they become the child, you got to treat them as such, which means you don't take what they do personal. And sometimes, drum roll, you have to be the bigger person. And I don't want to hear a single person tell me they healed, but they got a dysfunctional parent that they ain't talking to. No, you not. Oh my God. I don't want to hear a single person that say they healed, but got a dysfunctional parent that's immature and they have not at least attempted to reconcile. I don't want to hear it. Oh my God. I know. I know. Type it in the comments now. Levels. Some of y'all so low, some of y'all so used to sitting in coach, seat 32C, that you don't know what it's like to be in seat 2A with them warm peanuts and that warm towel. Unlimited food and drinks, snacks, meals, reclining chairs. I get it. If I'd never been to Fleming's, I would think Applebee's was great too. Oh my God. Now, I want to say this because I see a comment that is worth mentioning. Y'all, to everything, don't y'all be absolute. Some of this has to be common sense too. To everything, there are always exceptions. Let's say your parents are a physical risk to you and you have children or you've got a spouse. Let's say your parents or parents have mental illness that they will not treat, work through, and them being around you and your kids becomes a physical risk and danger. We talking about a different scenario. Instead of them you focusing on reconciling with them, you need to reconcile them with some help. Y'all, in my world, that's common sense. But I think the question was worthy of mentioning so that I can eliminate all assumptions that that's not the case. If those things are happening, y'all, that's a different conversation. Because you got to know there are certain generations, lost generation, baby boomers, the lost generation are the parents of the baby boomers. I'll tell you what the research says, because part of my dissertation work was in generational studies. I know that stuff like the back of my hand. Part of the challenge with the lost generation and the baby boomers is that a lot of them didn't even believe in mental wellness. They didn't believe in counseling and therapy. They believed they could beat the dysfunction out of you. They believed they could punish the dysfunction out of you. So it's not shocking to me when I have clients who have parents in their 70s and 80s who are depressed, meet all of the requirements for clinical depression, anxiety, ADHD, you name it. But they refuse to get that treated. They didn't come from that school. So why would I ask you to put you and your kids in harm's way by going around people that won't take responsibility for their own wellness? Doesn't make sense. Right? So I'm not a fan of having to cut your parents off. I think that's the absolute last resort with these exceptions that we've mentioned or similar ones. But if that parent is just mean, it ain't going to hurt you to make an attempt to reconcile. Besides, you're supposed to be the healed one, right?
Oh my God.
You're supposed to be the bigger person, right?
Oh my God.
It's wild, man. It ain't nothing more ratchet than watching a person talk about how they're not going to make stuff right with their kids because their parents are so ratchet, but they just as ratchet. That's so wild to me. It's literally the blind calling the blind blind. How you know they blind? You can't see them.
Oh my God.
To this end, let's talk about quickly mistreating your kids. Y'all, parenting is one of the hardest jobs you're going to do. I'm telling you, ain't no manual for it. And I know that sounds like, old wise tales. People say, yeah, there ain't no manual for parenting. We don't believe that until you become a parent. And then you really understand there really ain't no manual. You don't know what's coming your way. You ain't going to always get everything right. But let me tell you something. Let me talk to those of you parents that intentionally mistreat your kids. When you intentionally mistreat your kids, you're planting seeds. You're planting seeds when you intentionally mistreat your kids. And when you intentionally mistreat your kids and you plant seeds, you got one or two choices. You can either, one, pull the seed before it grows, i.e., apologize and get your act together. This is especially important when you've got small kids because small kids are more likely to be able to recover than older kids. When we get old, we get stubborn. We get stuck in our ways. We don't want to hear your apology. We don't want to reconcile. We get filled with pride and all kinds of stuff like that. But the beautiful thing about little kids and their innocence is that you can offend a kid, but if you really genuinely love them and genuinely are sorry, they will forgive you and you can move on. You mistreat your kids, and you listening to me tonight, and you got young kids and you mistreating them, you got two choices. You can either pull those seeds before they grow. Pull those seeds before they grow. Or two, watch that seed grow in them. And later you're going to be dealing with stuff like anger and resentment, disrespect. You'll see. Because you act like children when you mistreat children. Oh, that's a bar. Y'all writing that down. You act like a child when you mistreat a child, whether that's your own child or somebody else's. I don't see how grown folks that just mistreat children. Like, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all, bruh. I get it, some bad kids out here, but for those of you that just intentionally mistreat children, that's wild to me. I don't get it. You act like a child when you mistreat a child. And let me tell you something about kids. Kids might not be able to communicate like you. They might not be able to put their words together like we do. But let me tell you what a kid can do. A kid can be in the presence of an adult and sense whether or not that adult likes them. I mean, immediately. A kid can literally be in the presence of an adult and not be able to communicate. That kid could be 2 and 3 years old and barely talking. But that kid can sense when somebody's energy or spirit is off in that room, especially if they're an adult, and they can literally feel it physically. And I'm telling you, when you mistreat a kid, you acting just like one. Especially your own kids. It's wild out here. I've never understood adults arguing with kids. And I want to talk to those of you that have parents that are acting like kids. And you trying to be the bigger person to your parents. Let me give you some advice. When your parents start acting like kids, your response should be as such. Meaning, parents don't tussle with kids. I want to say this slower so y'all catch what I'm saying. Parents don't tussle with kids. So if your parents start acting like a child and they're being immature, and you're the one that's healing and you're being the adult, parents don't tussle, argue with kids. What do parents do to kids? They treat them as such. You don't get thrown off when a kid has a temper tantrum because you know that kid's going to have to do what you tell them to do. You don't go back and forth with the kid because you know that kid don't know what they're talking about. You don't do that. This is important. Y'all stop tussling with your adult parents. Stop tussling with your overgrown parents that don't want to be respectful or that are being mean or they're acting like children. No, treat them like children. Tell them what you're going to accept, what you're not. Do it in a respectful way because it's still your folks. Be respectful, but be straightforward. Tell them what you're going to tolerate, what you're not, and give them the choice. It's that simple. You can't beat them. You shouldn't. But set boundaries and live with the results. Can y'all put that in the comments now? Set boundaries, live with the results. I'm serious about that. That ain't just with the parent-child dynamic. That's in all phases of life. Set boundaries, live with the results. Two more things I got to mention. And the last thing that I'm going to mention is involving step parents. And so if you're in the step parent situation, I need you to stick around. One more thing before I get to that. Children, if you're a child or you're a little child or you are a grown child, y'all stop bearing the responsibility and the actions of your parents. It's not fair. If you're a grown child on this call and you got parents that ain't owning their behavior, y'all stop owning it for them. It's not fair. Parents don't deserve a universal pass for their dysfunction. Will y'all write that in the comments in all capital letters and in your journal? Parents don't deserve a universal pass for dysfunction, especially the dysfunction they ain't owning. Some of y'all are giving a universal pass to your parents for their dysfunction. Why? Because that's mama, that's daddy, and you crazy. Parents don't get no universal pass for dysfunction. And y'all stop giving them one. Because in my opinion, when a parent mistreats you, that's the worst form of mistreatment. I can handle my enemy mistreat me. I can handle people that don't like me mistreat me. I can handle my teacher mistreat me. I can handle people at work mistreat me. I can handle even people in my relationships to an extent mistreat me. I know that can be an expectation. That can be something that comes with engaging in a relationship. But when a parent mistreats a kid, that's next level, man. That's next level. And parents don't get no universal pass for their dysfunction. Same way you got to handle your dysfunction, they got to handle theirs. And they got to own it. And that's part of the problem with our culture when it comes to parenting, especially adult parents to adult children dynamics. Y'all letting your parents just get away with stuff. That's mama. Stop. No. Well, the Bible say, children, obey your parents, that your days might be long on there. Because the lost generation, Gen Z, and the lost generation, boomers, they love to quote that Bible. Children, obey your parents, that your days might be long on the earth. But I've always found it interesting for parents that are rude and disrespectful, how they ignored the verses prior to that say, parents, don't provoke your children to wrath. It's in the Bible.
Oh my God.
So we talk about all of this, kids honoring their parents, but we gloss over how you can actually provoke your kids to behave the way they do. Here's the breaking news. There are some kids, young and adult, that are dysfunctional now because they've been provoked to it. Some of y'all got a bad attitude, if I'm being honest, because you were provoked into it. Oh, some of you are actually really nice, sweet people. But the reality is your parents provoked you for most of your childhood. And it caused you to grow up mean and harsh, with walls up, not being able to engage with people, anxiously attached, because your parents provoked you. And that's the verse they ain't quoting. I can't deal. Let me say this finally. This is my last note, 11:15. My time's up. Grace and respect is a mutual exchange. I want you to write that in the comments right now. Put it in your journal big. Grace and respect is a mutual exchange. And this is especially important in the context of parent-child dynamics. That parents, as much as you want your children to respect you for your position and to give you grace for your failures, they deserve the same respect and the same grace. Grace and respect is a mutual exchange. Watch this. That is led, let's add something to it, that is led by the parent. You know why? Because the parent is the parent. We discussed that. Yeah, children should honor parents, but parents should not provoke their children first. And when you have step parents involved, this is equally true. But let me tell you the different caveat. Hey, those of you that married somebody else and you got children and now your children got step parents, let me tell you how this works. The extent to which your children will respect their bonus parent will be predicated on the extent to which the real parent has set the tone for the bonus parent. It is not the bonus parent's job to come into a family dynamic and demand respect.
Oh my God.
If a woman comes into my life, let me just use me. If a woman comes into my life and becomes Mrs. Tally, and I've got 2 kids and they've already met, obviously, and she becomes Mrs. Tally, it is not her job to have to come in my house or our space and have to put her foot down to establish respect for those kids. My job as the real parent is to go to Giselle and Ford and say, listen, this is going to be your mom, and she loves you guys because she loves daddy. And we're going to do this thing together. And you guys are going to give her the same respect that you give me. And I expect that because I trust her to do the same thing. It ain't her job to come in my space and to set that tone. It's mine. And if she's got a child, it's not my job to set the tone with her child. She's supposed to go to her little Precious, her little Johnny, her little Susan, and say, listen, we're about to have daddy home. He's a great man. He's going to take care of us. We're going to all grow together as a family. And you're going to respect him the same way you respect your father. You know what y'all do? You go out here and get husbands and wives. You have kids. You don't set the tone with your kids. And next thing you know, you shocked when you're breaking up fights.
Oh my God.
Y'all, this is just good old fashioned wisdom and teaching right here. I know many of y'all don't like this, but some of y'all need to be listening to this because you have children and you might end up, your children might end up having a bonus parent if you get married. You need to understand how this goes. No, you let the step parent come in and you turn over reins to your kid. There they go. Go ahead. Raise them. Discipline. Wait a minute. Hold on. Have we set the tone? Have we set the order? Has the person I've grown up with set the order for how this is supposed to work so that I know that my stepdaddy or my stepmama is okay? Y'all, this is common sense. And yet we don't do it. It's the parents' job to do that. And parents, if you can't set that tone, let me say something that really got y'all pissed the last time I did this video. Hey, parents, if you can't set that tone and you're not about to marry somebody that you cannot demand that your children respect, guess what? You don't need to marry them.
Oh my God.
You don't need to marry nobody that you cannot demand that your children respect. Because that's a sign that they probably not respect worthy or you ain't done a good job of raising your kids.
Oh my God.
I'm done. Was this helpful? I know some of y'all mad with me. I don't care. Send it to Ed. Send it all your. Make me the subject of your group chat tomorrow. I don't care. Quick announcements before you log off. Group work. I got group work for kids. Y'all ain't signing up. Reframing. I'm reteaching what I taught kids ages 8 to 12, 13 to 17, October the 26th and October the 27th. I'm doing group work for kids. I'm teaching them reframing again. I mean, if you ask me to reteach that course because your kids couldn't make it the first time, and I'm also doing a new group work for kids that's focused on technology and anxiety. I'm going to teach 8 to 12-year-olds and 13 to 17-year-olds the connection between technology, our addiction to technology, and how this increases anxiety. This is an excellent group work. November the 2nd for 8 to 12-year-olds, November the 9th for 13 to 17-year-olds. Links in my bio. The price, dirt cheap. Okay, so sign up for that course. And of course, support the show if you haven't already. The ways to support are on the screen. And that's that. I'm done. 11:22 is almost 11:30. I got to get up in less than 5 hours. Less than 4 hours. Was this helpful? I know y'all mad at me. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Get out the clubs with your kids. This is hot tea and cold water at the same time. Kelly, don't talk about me. Yes, I am. Have a good night. I got a long day tomorrow. Wish my little one luck on a volleyball championship game. And you guys have an amazing Friday and weekend. Have some content out tomorrow. And we'll see you then. Peace and blessings. Have a good night. Like the video, share the video. Bye now.